And this is Humphries. Now Headley. Crosdale. Move that nicely. Into the feet of Curtis. Deborah. Steady progress up the pitch here for Port Vale. Gabriel swings it in. Easily dealt with by Arsenal. Forward by Lewis Skelly.
It's better from Port Vale though, isn't it? So they're going to have to be aggressive, there's no doubt of that. And that's what these fans want to see, they really do. I mean, they've turned up in their numbers, and yes, I know there'll be one thing that they couldn't see some of the top stars they don't get to see every week, but you do feel that they want a big performance, and they'll need one from their side this evening.
Have been scoring a few goals of late, Port Vale, 10 in their last 4. So they do have goals in them. But obviously all of those goals that they have scored have come against League One sides and also the Leeds United under-21 team, so not of the same quality as the defenders they're facing this evening in Arsenal blue. As long as it's 1-0, they've still got an opportunity here to achieve something.
Darren Ward's probably would have snapped your hands off, wouldn't he, if you said, would you take 1-0 at half-time? There's no doubt of that. I think since Arsenal scored the goal, they have dropped off the pace a touch. As I said, well, have weathered that storm. Just needs to up another notch for Arsenal if they are to go and get that second goal that you feel that might just, I know it's a long way off, but kill the game off.
Brilliant movement. Ranieri is away from his man after the link-up play with White. Mourinho was a bit clumsy as he tried to get his shot away, a bit slow really, but cleared as far as Martinelli. Lewis Skelly.
How good was that from Ranieri? It's one thing I love about watching some of these young talented players. They not just passing and admiring that first pass, they want to get it back, they want to go and create another second move. That's exactly what Ranieri was doing there.
Saka. Marino, it's Eze. Good save by Gocci.
And that's how quick the game can turn, particularly when you're coming up against some of these quality players that Arsenal have in their starting 11. Brilliant bit of play, a bit of movement from Eze. Should score really, should have 2.
20 forward for this attack as Saka bears down the Vale goal. Forced away by Connor Hall. Called in by Norgard. Met by Humphries. Saka still. Lewis Skelly on for Martinelli. Away from Gabriel. Out by Headley. In goes Mosquera. Cleared by Crosdale, who was caught as he did so.
Yeah, Ryan Crosdale knew exactly what to do there. He used his experience, every inch of that clearance, and then the follow through. Mosquera.
Well, the Vale fans felt that challenge should have brought a free kick.
I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure.
Big 8 to 10 minutes between now and the half-time whistle, because Arsenal will be pushing hard for a 2-0 lead to go into the break with. From Port Vale's point of view, if they can keep it to 1, as we've been saying, that just gives them that little bit of belief for the second period after regrouping during the break.
Yeah, it does. The momentum's just shifted again, hasn't it, with Arsenal. Really showing that they're capable of just flicking on that switch and causing a problem. Yes, I should have definitely made that too. You expect him maybe just to lift it over the goalkeeper as he comes out. Super bit of play from Arsenal again.
Deborah up the line. Final touch off Gabriel. Croasdale was in with great determination. George Hall, Croasdale moving to his right-hand side. Lewis Kelly in the way. It'll be a corner.
Now these are big situations, aren't they, for Port Vale? Allows them to bring some of the big hitters up front. Defence, good delivery from Curtis is so important. These are real key moments for the home side. I know that this is an opportunity of asking questions of Kepa in goal and something that they might not get so many chances about in this game. It's important good delivery comes in.
In by Curtis. And the header hasn't been cleared as yet. And the shot when it came in from Connor Hall is blocked. His initial header, I think, that caused one or two difficulties to the Arsenal defence. Curtis working hard to reclaim. Tosses it in again. Deborah wins the first ball. White the second. This is Headley. Bit of excitement around Vale Park. Gabriel in towards Deborah again. Connor Hall just loops it in. Curtis challenging. Ranieri hasn't cleared it as yet. And the whistle hasn't gone. Low cross in. Nodded away by Mosquera. No sustained pressure that Port Vale have been able to mount all night. And how the home supporters are loving it. Deborah. Eza can clear.
Well, that's what it's all about. When they get the opportunities to put the ball in the box, they've had that corner. Defenders have stayed up. Deborah's still in that front line.
Up he goes again. Cleared by Mosquera. That's nice from Ranieri, turning away from Croasdale. Just the value of that little bit of pressure and the crosses that were tossed in there just lifts the support, doesn't it? You can hear them now, refound their voices.
Yeah, it always does, doesn't it? I mean, so they feel that there's something there, don't they? They feel that the team can produce something. I mean, there's certainly Port Vale score here. This place will erupt, won't it?
Eza on to Martinelli. Deborah was across firmly. Lewis Kelly. Ben White. Saka being forced into his own half by Headley. Norgard, Eza. Oh, lovely from Martinelli. Can he burn away from Gabriel? He's found a cross. Marino. That is diving in for Port Vale. Decisive challenges.
So good from Martinelli. This is the corner from Ron Curtis. Header, it just comes off. One of them players in the box, maybe one of their own there. It is. Comes off Humphreys, doesn't it? And loops back in the air. He can cause no end of problems because keeper doesn't want to come out of his goal. Depends on his defenders clearing that little bit of mess.
Eza. Marino. Saka. This is White. Norgard. Eza slid into good effect as Walters tried to wriggle his way beyond him.
Yeah, good challenge from Eza. Maybe just that one pass too many for Arsenal, is it? Because it's so congested in there.
Martinelli. Again, Gabriel doing just enough. And George Hall draws the foul.
I'll tell you, Moore will be pleased with that. This game isn't put to bed just yet for Arsenal. He'll still feel that there's an opportunity, there's a chance. He'll be talking to his side at half-time if it does stay this way. And trying to give them that belief, that momentum that they can get something out of it. The longer the game goes on, Arsenal will feel that the pressure will mount.
Yes, they need one decent chance, don't they? They had that half chance for Connor Hall from that corner. Didn't really get hold of the header, but it's that kind of situation. If they can isolate him and he can generate some power with his head, maybe that will be the route back into the game. Cannot afford to concede before that half-time whistle. A second goal, though, as Saka is brought down.
I'll tell you what, Eza made an absolute bursting run from midfield there. Saka just couldn't quite get his head up. Obviously, he's got Raheem Headley breathing down his neck, hasn't given him any time or space. Brilliant run from Eza.
But overall, Lee, when Eza put the ball in the net after just 8 minutes, after a really good, positive few moments for Arsenal, you thought they could run away with it. But Port Vale have hung on in there, haven't they?
Yeah, they have, and credit to them. one of the nicest men in football, Darren Moore. I'm sure you of that. Such a nice guy, but he's got that winning mentality. And he will believe that they could get something. I'm sure that will have been the message in that changing room. Let's keep pushing, let's keep probing. Pick the times when to go forward, which they will do.
Referee Andrew Kitchen just wanting a word here with Saliba and Connor Hall, the Port Vale captain. They had their only real chance of the first half with that mistimed header. That's how the first half started, with long throws from Gabriel. Got some distance on that, the flick on from Curtis, and again Arsenal get it away, but didn't get it away that cleanly. That pass forward is a bit loose. Saka's in there, Marino forward, and Martinelli is stopped by a very effective bit of goalkeeping from Joe Gauci.
That's brilliant from Gauci, coming out, acting as a sweeper. I thought that could have been the second goal. Just a break from midfield. They win the ball back up the pitch, and then it's a clever run, but brilliant goalkeeping from Gauci. He comes out and he makes a nuisance of himself just to not allow Arsenal to go and get that second goal.
Australian international Joe Gauci is on loan from Aston Villa. Played in Australia's most recent international, friendly against New Zealand. Came on as a sub in that one. And he's played in the last 4 games that Port Vale have played, coming into this one, including that victory in the second round of the competition away at Birmingham, a clean sheet at Birmingham, which will have pleased his Aston Villa employers, I'm sure.
Well, it's a good thing, is it, with the way the game's changed an awful lot, is that we're getting to see some of these younger, talented players come out and having to drop down to the lower leagues. This is the opportunity. Oh, it's a well-delayed run. Martinelli, a super little pick out. I'm not sure whether he really was committed to that, was it? Joe Gauci comes out and really makes it hard for Martinelli. Excellent goalkeeping.
Yes, gets that wrong, and it was probably going to be the end of his evening, and the end of Port Vale's opportunity as well to stay in the game and still have this dream of somehow knocking Arsenal out of the competition. But the set piece that Ronan Curtis is going to deliver, Connor Hall and Jesse Debrah try and win the first ball. Deep towards Debrah, and he has won the first ball. Didn't quite drop for George Hall. Good as far as Curtis. Walters with him. Oh, that might be intercepted by Saka. Walters unsure that he didn't get to it first. Scared her back to Kepa.
A crunching challenge. Saka certainly wouldn't have wanted to go for a night like this. A real hospital ball, wasn't it? Played into an area that these players have got every right to go and make that attempt, but Saka gets worse off. Walters just straight down the top of his ankle, on the top of the foot.
Well, this is not what Mikel Arteta wanted to witness this evening. Saka just back from that hamstring problem, and it's a painful blow for the England man here.
Yeah, well, most managers, it's their nightmare, isn't it? You're playing cup competitions, you want your best players available, you want your squad available to pick for the Premier League, the Champions League, and the thing is, knowing managers, they just want to make sure that they get the result. Everyone's unscathed, no injuries, let's get out of here, let's get on to the next round. It's so important, particularly someone of Saka's calibre.
And even more so with the recent news that Nani Madueke, who's been in excellent form, has picked up an injury of his own that might not be as bad as first feared, but even so, he's going to be out until the next international break at least. So they can ill afford to lose Saka again. And this, an Arsenal squad that's already without Havertz and Jesus, and of course their captain Martin Odegaard. That's why we have deep squads, of course. Just had a glimpse there of young Max Dowman, the 15-year-old. Pretty sure he will get on at some stage, Lee. But while it's still 1-0, Mikel Arteta might just keep that change up his sleeve for a bit longer.
Yeah, I think he will make changes, there's no doubt. I think it's usually the criteria is that in the cup competitions, most players get 60, 65 minutes, and then ones that are on the bench usually get a run out. And like you say, with it being 1-0, still very, very cagey, and it hangs in the balance, so put all your eggs in one basket, can you? You need to box clear, and that's where you get paid the big bucks.
Arsenal haven't really got started since the restart. And that will just give Port Vale growing belief that they might still be able to achieve something this evening. Jaheim Headley with this throw. It was he who scored the winner at Birmingham in the last round. Curtis attacked it bravely and stayed down. And referee Kitchen wants to just check on his welfare.
I think that was a knee in the back. Ronan Curtis goes up for the challenge. It was just something or nothing. Oh God, just going up to win the header. Slight little clash in the back.
Christian Norgard remain involved. His first start for Arsenal since his £15 million move from Brentford. Actually reached the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup with Brentford when they were a championship side in 2021, who were beaten at that stage by Tottenham, who of course Thomas Frank is now the manager of. Bruno's lost that. Curtis really scrapping and battling for his team's cause.
And this is one where a hint of frustration. Curtis just leaning over. I think he knows exactly what he's doing. His manager's there to help if called upon. Darren Moore.
He's not a bad man to have in your camp, is he, Darren Moore? Look at that crowd, 16,326. That is a sellout. A terrific following from Arsenal as well, 30 shy of 3,000.
That's what the cup competitions are all about. I love seeing these packed out stadiums. As I said, the old school stadiums. Great noise, great atmosphere. That's why the cup competitions are always special.
Humphries has enough pace. His pass back had too much pace, though.
Sloppy defending. Get control. He had plenty of time. He's just trying to play it back to his goalkeeper. Not sure he even looks, does he? He just plays it at pace. He actually got no chance of getting control of that. Now they're under the cosh again.
Well, a few corners we've had this evening. This is Arsenal's third. Humphries keeping an eye on Mosquera. As Arsenal go short. Back for Luis Kelly. Saka for Eza. Onyeri. The pressure from George Hall. Saliba. Onyeri. Saka in behind Headley. A good recovery again by the Port Vale man.
He's been outstanding. Headley. And he's had to be. Darren Moore talked upon his team. They've all got to pull and produce 110% performances, haven't they? He has been outstanding though. I don't think that Saka's had a lot of change from him at all. They're playing a real high line as well, Port Vale. I know they've got the pace in wide areas, particularly with Gabriel and Headley. It's a foot race.
Onyeri there if Saka wants to go short again. He's addressing this, I don't think he will. Attacking that near post. So 3 corners in quick succession here for the goal. Well, I thought there was, and so did Mosquera, but goal kick is the verdict.
It certainly looked like another corner kick. Mosquera was waiting for that little flick, wasn't it? So just clear it up. It does look like an Arsenal corner.
Yeah, looked like it might have come off the shoulder of Cameron Humphreys. Closing in on 300 games as Arsenal manager, Mikel Arteta. This is 297. Crosdale forward. Patton putting the pressure on Mosquera. George Hall won it back, but then gave it back.
And that is the problem Port Vale will have is when they win the ball back, they're really limited in who they can play to, what support they've got, what forward players, advanced players that they can play into. And that's why it's always just going to be the one that's going to be the more advanced. That's where it has to be proper, inch perfect to keep the pressure on Arsenal.
Only conceded 2 goals so far this season, Arsenal, and both goals with quality. One at Szoboszlai's cracker for Liverpool, and then that wonderful counter-attack and finish from Erling Haaland on Sunday. These Port Vale players write their name in history with a goal tonight. Nearly an hour played in front of a sellout Vale Park. An early strike from Eza still separating the teams as Mourinho collects. White. Eza. This is Norgard. Saka. Martinelli. Luis Skelly back for Saliba. Norgard. White. Luis Skelly. And now Onyeri. In the way was Connor Hall.
And it's so patient from Arsenal. You can see it's coming from left to the right-hand side. Just trying to find an opening where they can create a shot, a goal.
Well, here he is, young Max Dowman. And no great surprise that it's Bukayo Saka who's coming off. I guess before the game, probably agreed with Mikel Arteta that he'd have an hour. But that little knock earlier after that robust challenge on him, perhaps just encouraged Mikel Arteta that he definitely not keep him on very much longer. He's on his way back to full fitness. He's such a prodigious talent that you do not want to overwork him too much. And now we get another glimpse of this young man. Doesn't turn 16 until New Year's Eve, Max Dowman. He's already played a couple of times off the bench in the Premier League against Leeds and against Liverpool. And he certainly doesn't lack confidence, Lee.
No, I mean, it's great to see some young blood, young talent coming into some of these top sides, but 15 is absolutely remarkable, isn't it? I'm sure he's going to be late for school tomorrow, not have the morning off, but it's brilliant to see, and he's got bags of talent. It's all about bedding him into a really fabulous squad. And as you said, confidence he isn't short of, coming into a team, a squad of some world-class international players here.
Mikel Arteta in his press conference yesterday was asked about Max Dowman and about his ability and his approach to training and stuff, and was asked what happens when he tries to take on some of the big stars in your team and embarrasses them, and he says that they kick him. And he just bounces up and gets on with it again.
Yeah, I've been on the receiving end of a few of them back in my time, believe me, but that's one thing that separates you from just being an average normal player, is that you relish the fact of coming up against top players and not doing it to really mock or say, or really, it's all about having the belief in yourself that you can go and do it against these top players, and that's where you get confidence, and that's where you go to the next level.
Two changes imminent for Port Vale. Well, they don't have, unsurprisingly, 15-year-olds coming off their substitutes bench, but experienced grafters who will look to find that equaliser goal for Darren Moore's men. Rosedale forward. And the flag up against George Hall. Played at Wembley back in the last season, George Hall, in the League Two playoff final for Walsall. Had a terrific season on loan with them from Birmingham before moving permanently to Port Vale over the summer. And here come the changes for Port Vale. And it is George Hall who will make way for Ben Garrity, who's coming on. Very popular figure here now in his 5th season at the club. 2 promotions during that spell. And Jordan Gabriel, the right wing back, is going to make way for Mitch Clark, who's another right wing back, over 100 appearances for the club. So 2 players who are Vale through and through are on for the closing stages of this one.
Yeah, fresh legs needed. Certainly expect that to that stage of 60, 65 minutes, and those sides tend to make them changes. They've really had to work hard. Possession, not having an awful lot of the football, a lot of defending, hustling, harrying, just allowing Arsenal just to dictate the football and completely run away with this game.
Here's Dowman. Nicely done for Lewis Skelly. White. Wanyeri. Norgard. Dowman. His first run at Headley. wins that one. But remember tonight, that's for sure, Shaheem Headley, first Saka, and then this young man.
Yeah, he'll be one that I think we're going to see a hell of a lot of. Stanman already shows that 15 years of age, wants to try and make an impact as soon as he's come on, direct and positive.
And so far tonight, we've seen a lot of long throws from Port Vale. First for Arsenal here as Christian Norgard tosses it in towards the edge of that 6-yard box. Waitu has a crack.
The greatest of strikes from Ben White.
Devante Cole and Jaden Stockley, the next twist for Darren Moore. Two strikers. Need to find a goal from somewhere.
Yeah, well, listen, it gives them an option, doesn't it, to go and mix things up. Two centre forwards, Stockley, they can go a bit more direct into him, they can play off him. And it's at that stage of the game where I think, yes.
It's a decent ball by Croasdale, and Kepa out quickly, sorry Lee, just to get there ahead of Curtis.
It's better, isn't it? Just trying to break the lines of Arsenal. Asking more questions in behind than runs. That's what Arsenal won't want. They prefer having authority, the way they can see things in front. Chasing things in behind is always difficult for defenders.
Mitch Clark with his first long throw, and it's not very long. Slipped out of his hands, I think, there. And he's got it back from Croasdale. And now has a chance to centre. And that will come out as far as Deborah. Back for Clark.
Yeah, two really poor balls from Mitch Clark. Himself in really good areas, and then that one there can't quite pick out an area. This one's far too long. It's giving no one any chance. Look, you've got 1, 2, 3 bodies in, 4 bodies in the box.
So Rory Patton, who's worked his socks off up front, will make way for Devante Cole. Jaden Stockley, and Devante Cole is the other sub, and it's equally exhausted Ronan Curtis who will make way. So a different front two. Devante Cole, 3 goals in 3 games for Port Vale, signed as a free agent earlier this month. And you'll remember his father, Andy Cole, who started his career at Arsenal, made his debut for the Gunners at the age of 19. And Arsenal making alterations themselves. The Swedish international Victor Gyökeres is on for Marino. Ben White is also being withdrawn as Gabriel comes on. Doesn't want to go off. Coming number 4.
Mascara's come out onto that right back roll. Obviously, Gabriel back into his usual role in centre half.
It's a terrific ball. Martinelli held up by Clark. And then stopped by Deborah. Looking for Stockley, whose job is to try and hold on to it or possibly win free kicks. He's done neither there. Gabriel too strong and possesses too much nous. Mosquera now switching to the right-hand side of the Arsenal defence. Gabriel sitting alongside Saliba as ever.
Yeah, I think Arteta's looked at it and maybe felt the fact that Devante Cole and Jordan Stockley coming on as a partnership, a pairing, if you like. He's realised that you have to go a little bit more solid, bring his key centre-half back on. Just try and control the game a little bit now.
Damon. Stopped by Hall. Here's Walters. But there's just that little bit extra excitement around Vale Park now because the home support know that in Devante Cole they have got a player on the pitch that if half a chance falls his way, he's likely to put it on target and it might bring the equaliser.
Yeah, I think that's what Moore will have thought coming into this game, is that knowing that the confidence that Devante Cole has at the moment in front of goal. He is on a great roll at the moment. Even the likes of Jordan Stockley, they can cause team problem, and that's why I think his game plan would have been, let's try and work, let's try and tie it, and then we can bring on fresh legs in that forward area if the game still hangs in the balance, which it definitely does.
Mosquera, that's a dangerous ball, it's an inaccurate ball, and it's Garrity. And now it's Walters, can't get the shot away. Clark joins in. Croasdale. Clark. All the chances gone.
Another good opportunity for just to work something where they're going to put balls into the box. You've just brought two centre forwards on who are going to play literally in between that 6-yard box. They need delivery, they need something to go at. This is a little bit of pressure. Scary giving the ball away. And look at Arsenal, they get back in that real solid unit, don't they? As they are capable of doing so. That's why they have always had one of the best defences, particularly over recent seasons. But that's where you need to really move fast. You need to act quickly. Vale didn't do that.
Yes, that was an opening out of nothing for Port Vale, and Arsenal swiftly closed the door that Mosquera had briefly opened for them. Still to record a shot on target tonight, Port Vale. It's still only 1 goal down against the mighty Arsenal. Arsenal packed full of internationals again this evening, despite making 9 changes from the off. Such is their strength in depth. And they've given it away carelessly again. Devante Cole. Is he going to hit it from there? He is! Did it take a flick on its way through? I think it did. I think it's going to be a corner, is it? Maybe not. That's what he's been brought on to do.
Yeah, it is. And they're causing themselves so many problems, aren't they? All into that central area. Kepa. Devante Cole gets on it. This is what it's all about. This is where you take them opportunities on. He does. Does it turn down the strike? Yes. It's a save that Kepa should make if it is on target. But all of a sudden, the fans are believing. There's an atmosphere. There's a nervous energy around the place.
And suddenly, after looking so assured in possession all night, Arsenal are making some schoolboy errors in possession. Twice now giving the ball away cheaply. First time Port Vale failed to generate anything of note. Second time Devante Cole has a go and kept the relief to see it go over his crossbar.
They are playing a lot higher up the pitch. I said about that high line they're playing. That's allowing Garrity to really push on Rosedale. And obviously they've got the two up there now in Monty Cole and Jaden Stockley, so there's going to be more opportunity.
This is Damon though to Arsenal. He's got away from Headley, who is Skelly. Good tackle by Walters, and it's Stockley. Couldn't get his feet right. Wanyeri picks up the loose ball. Damon takes over. Lewis Skelly. Damon, lovely ball. Gyökeres is in. Brilliant defending by Humphreys, who appeals in vain for a late offside flag.
I'll tell you what, brilliant play from both players by the finish, really. Damon, have a look at this for vision. Absolutely brilliant. Same wavelength as Victor Gyökeres, makes that run. I'll tell you what, has he really got to smash that? Can he have that little bit of finesse where he can just bring it down there? He does. Then maybe just lift it over both defender and goalkeeper. What a pass from Max Diamond to pick out Gyökeres. That should be two and probably game over.
Outstanding ball, and absolutely no question that Gyökeres was onside. Problem here, far side for Mitch Clark, and it looks as though Port Vale might have to sub one of their subs. Who's available to them as a defender off the bench, and it would be Ben Hennigan, but he's more of a central defender, so not sure if they've been able to play the wing-back system if Clark does have to withdraw, and looks pretty certain from that he will be. He can barely move.
I think he fell awkwardly, didn't he? I think over that right-hand side near the touchline where he just slipped and maybe overstretched the groin, hamstring.
It's going to be Funso Ojo, the Belgian, to come on. More of a midfielder. It'll have to be a reshuffle in the midfield, as I say, if they want to play with wing-backs until the final whistle. Disappointing night for Mitch Clark. He wasn't on the pitch for very long and now might be out of the picture for a while. He was on loan at Shrewsbury last season, Funso Ojo. 34 years of age. And another change for Arsenal as Leandro Trossard is going to be introduced for Gabriel Martinelli. Declan Rice also being brought on. And the goal scorer, Benavechi Eze, has concluded his work for the night. Arsenal's sixth corner. Darwin hasn't had to wait long for his first touch. Lewis Skelly. Trossard. Yeri. Skelly drifting it forward for Gyökeres.
They do keep the ball really well, don't they, Arsenal? You'd expect them to. I think that Arteta maybe bringing on the likes of Declan Rice. Gyökeres gives them something to really go and aim at as well, doesn't he? A focal point if in trouble.
Almost lost it. Already an under-19 international for England, Max Dowman. Just 15, remember? And doesn't look out of place, does he?
No, he doesn't at all. I mean, since he's come on, he's just showed so much character and carries himself so well.
Some of the loose ball forward by Arsenal that brings Port Vale a throw. Just over 6 minutes of the 90 remain. Still the one goal in it. Jesse Debra will dry that ball and look for extra purchase. Now in that penalty area they will have number 44, Devante Cole, who does have the quality to snaffle up half chances should it fall his way. Rosedale goes up and loses out to Gyökeres. Back though for Humphreys. Now Ojo should be the goalkeepers.
It's been the only disappointment, you know, when they've got into good areas. Maybe the delivery just hasn't been quite right, or really asked enough questions of Arsenal defensively. In that one there, it's far too easy for Kepa just to come out and claim. He will dictate his box. My only criticism of Port Vale, they've worked so hard to get into areas. That's when you have to have that final bit of product. You're putting good delivery into an area where you're giving your forward something to go at.
Saliba's found Trossard. Trossard trying to win the game, and he has done. It's his first ever goal in the Carabao Cup. He's not been on the pitch for very long, but that strike from the Belgian has surely wrapped up this third round tie and eased Arsenal's passage into the next stage of the competition.
Well, let's face it, they've been comfortable with the ball. They really have. Defensively, they look comfortable, but this is just a turnover. This is what Trossard brings to this